Well, good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. I thought I would take a bit of time today to record a few videos to be released around Christmas, New Year's time, just so you're not left high and dry before the new series starts in the new year. So, first things first, I've decided that we're going to do a marathon stream on December the 8th to start the new series, the Iron Man series. So, stay tuned for that. I will be scheduling that video shortly. So for today, I wanted to make a video on equipping heroes. I've got a couple questions about it recently, as well as there's been quite a few changes in game in terms of market and how to buy them. So I figured it's time that I make kind of an update or a newer video with equipping heroes. So first things first, I would say don't spend too much money equipping heroes until you are level 53. At level 53, you unlock the highest tier of hero, which is your Geomancers, your Dancers, and your Berserkers. Until you have those unlocked, you're not going to want to spend a whole lot because most likely, unless you get some really lucky rolls and you're going to end up using Titan Soul on some of the lower tier heroes, you're going to end up re-rolling the majority of your heroes anyways. And so I think it just makes a lot of sense to wait to spend a whole lot of gold or gems on equipment until later on. So that's first thing. Obviously, now that there's been changes in game, you can't buy anything in market with enchants already on it. So buying items changes a little bit in terms of the dynamic of how you do that. So we're going to talk about that. I spent quite a bit of time a while ago kind of experimenting with different levels of power and cost for items and that sort of thing. And basically what came out of that was something like a green item that's fully enchanted with the right enchantments is a lot better than a legendary item by itself without enchants on it. Which means that you should only be buying equipment that you can afford both of the enchantments on. If you can't afford both of the enchantments, just go down a rarity and afford the proper enchantments for it, because the piece with the double enchant is going to be a lot better than a more rare piece of equipment with no enchants on it. So these blue items, for example, they're probably going to cost, 4 to 10 million each just for the piece, and then the enchants are going to be another 10 million to buy them. So you're looking at 15 to 20 million per piece. So to equip an entire hero is easily, 60 million or over 100 million type of thing, right? And so if you don't have the gold to do that consistently, I would say get all green gear with the proper enchants, and it's going to cost you a quarter of that much or less to equip them. And I don't think the difference is going to be all that much. Of course, it's noticeable, but for you to equip your heroes fully with the right enchants is going to be more important than just getting a higher rarity of item. Let's go through how to decide which items. So first I want to say what I'm going to talk about today in terms of equipping heroes. There's so much that goes into factoring what you should get, and there's a lot of people that know a lot more information than I do and that can get into like every single little thing with heroes, like what skills are perfect, how that integrates with different champions and other types of heroes, and how to duo sunken hard with this type with that type. And I have never spent a whole lot of time learning that stuff, and so what I'm going to go over today is for the average player. It's not going to be super in depth. If you do want in depth, exactly what you need, exactly what skills, and you're going to be spending a couple $100 on gems to reroll all of your heroes to get exactly what you want, go for it. But that's not this video, and that's not my area of expertise. So you're going to be hitting up people in Discord or ST Central, going to Hero Builder and figuring out exactly what you want. But for me, that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about just generally what you want to look for different types of heroes. Okay. When you look at these three different types of heroes, there's obviously red heroes, which are fighters. You've got green heroes, which are rogue type heroes, and you've got spellcasters, which are the blue type. So we're going to go through each type and kind of generally what you're going to be looking for. Obviously, a lot plays into it. What they're going to be like, the difficulty they're going for, if you want them to just be duoing or trio or like a full squad going to a quest. If you're going to be re-rolling skills, what skills they got, what type of equipment, what role they're playing, blah, 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 blah. So many factors that I can never tell you this is exactly what you need, but we're going to go over generally what the best thing is. So let's start with red type of heroes. Generally, red type heroes are going to be your tanks, right? And so when you go to the defense, the threat rating is 90, which means that they're going to be attacked a lot more often. A spellcaster, I believe this threat rating is only 10. So these are going to be attacked a lot more often, which means that they're going to want a higher defense. The longer that these stay alive, the more hits that your team is going to get in, right? So health and defense is generally going to be the most important for these. Obviously, berserkers with their innate skill are going to be dealing a lot of damage when they're low health, but generally speaking, you're going to want a lot of health. So here's how you go in and look at which equipment that you're going to want for this hero. So let's say I want health and defense as my priorities for a red type hero. So if we go here through your hero tab, you click on the items, this is going to come up with all the items that you have in your inventory. But if you go equip from market, all of the items are going to be here. Obviously, this is a lot cleaner than it was before because there's no enchants, but we're going to search further. We're going to say all 3 different types. We're going to say green, which is what I said before, and maybe like tier 8, 9, 10, just so that we can see all of the different things that you can get. And so you can see like the base attack value for all of these. If you have a certain skill, let's say that increases gun damage, and then this will be a blue number instead of white, and that's probably going to be a lot higher, like in the thousands type of thing. So if we go and look at all of these, normally your best in slot item is going to be something with 2 different stats, whether that be attack and health, or attack and defense, or attack and crit, or something that adds an additional stat, which is why pack items are generally the most expensive. And so for this, I would definitely say that the attack and the health is going to be a lot better. I mean, the health is really nice, but then you can add an additional spirit that will give you the health and something else to it, right? Hancock is a lot better because it has more attack and more defense. So Hancock 65 is probably the best item in this slot for this hero, which is what I already have. And then let's say we go over here because there's a couple of more choices. I have Luckiest Clover there. If we search, we just go green items 8, 9, 10. We can see all the items that are available. So you've got attack and health, defense and health, attack and health. Like there's tons of different options for additional stats for all of the different items. For this, I really like this simply because it has the defense and the health, but because this guy I'm wanting to deal damage because it's a berserker and I'm not worried about him only being a tank, then I think I got Luckiest Clover, but probably Oak Essence is a really good choice as well. For all of these, you can go in and you can just check and see, like this one's super simple. You can see all the superior items, all of the different stats that they have, and the one with the defense and the health is going to be your best bet in this slot. We're going to talk about what enchants to use in a minute, but let's go to the next type. So when you go to a rogue type, generally crit, well, evasion and crit are going to be your most important, because when you increase the evasion each time it evades with a dancer, you get an automatic crit and increased damage and all that kind of stuff, right? So making sure that you have as close to 75% evasion as possible is ideal. So with a dancer type, obviously evasion is going to be super important. Probably attack is going to be important, and health as well, just so that it can survive. So if we go here, just want to give you an example of why certain items are better than others. If you're looking for evasion, this one only has 20, 18 less defense, but it has 5% evasion. Mountain Mammoths are by far and away the best in-slot item for this hero. You've got attack defense, attack health. This one has an additional attack when it comes to daggers. So Lucky Strike might be really good. So there's a few different options for this. I think Equinox Rod is probably still best, 650 and 20, so it's still better than this in terms of stats. Another decent option, just because it has the dagger skill, would be something with crit chance and a good attack number. So something like that. If we go to rings, superior, you've got, again, tons more options of what you can choose from. And I think I have Dawnflower Ring again because the health and the attack is probably my best bet. None of these other ones have health, so I think that would be my best bet for that hero. And then if we go to Geomancers or blue type of heroes, having evasion is not important, but having a good health pool and having lots of attack and a little bit of defense as well is definitely going to be ideal. So if we go in here and search all of the weapons that are available for this hero, This staff, excellent. It's got the defense and the attack. Equinox Rod, again, really nice because it has the health and the attack. So really, you're just looking for the items that have two different types of stats that are going to increase your health, your attack, your defense, your evasion, whatever it is that you need for that specific type of hero. One of the heroes that's really interesting is Spellblade, and I think a lot of people still think that this is one of the best heroes, and I would agree, just because look at this. There's three or four, or I guess two, different types of items that you can equip in each slot, which means that basically you can make this hero however you want it. It can be a tank, it can be attacking. You can kind of equip it however you want it to. It can carry all three different types of armor. So for this one, it's a lot more difficult to decide, okay, what do I actually want? Like so many different types of items that you can choose from: defense, attack and health, attack and defense, like so many different things that you can do. I think, again, attack and health is probably your best bet. What did I end up doing? Clover, attack and health. So that's going to give me a really nice health pool, 490. I've got lots of attack, good amount of defense. And so Spellblades are one of the most versatile heroes that you can have. And I guess before the nerfs in the most recent patch, these were like the most ideal hero. So let's talk about what enchantments that you're going to be wanting to put on your heroes once you kind of decide what type of gear that you want. So if you go to the hero down here in the element, right on the first page here, it shows you what type of element that you're going to need. So these are fire, these are air, these are water, and these are any type of element. When you're going to enchant your different pieces of armor with elements, this is the type that you're going to want. This one's going to need water, obviously, in all of them. This is going to want air in all of them. And so when you put the different rarities of elements on, it's either going to add 5, 10, or 15 to this number, depending on the rarity, tier 4, tier 7, tier 9, respectively. And then these skills are going to increase. So this skill increases at 20 and at 35, and some of the more rare skills are going to take more. This is out of 80. So when you hit 80 element, then this is going to increase from 60, 80, 120% attack. And so all of your skills are going to increase when you get a higher number in the element column. And that's why it's really important to buy a lower grade of gear to enchant it properly, because then your skills are going to be to the maximum effectiveness, even if you don't have the most rare gear that you can. In terms of what spirits that you're going to be using, obviously this is completely up to you. Everyone kind of has a different preference for what's better and what's worse. For me, almost all of mine have Walrus on them. The reason for that is that I have a 5% health bonus, so all of my heroes across the board have, other than like my 3 specialty heroes, have a 30% health bonus, which is really nice. Generally, it's going to add a lot more than just like a flat adds 10 health or 15 health or whatever. A percentage is generally going to add a lot more, which I really like. And there's 30% break chance reduction, which the reason why I do that is because this is now a more cost-effective hero. All of my stuff across the board is going to break less often, which means I have to pay less gold to repair, which means I'm making more money from quests. And I like that, because for me, heroes other than my top 3 heroes aren't here to solo a boss type of thing. I want my heroes to be making money. That's the whole point for me of heroes. And so the more cost effective that I can make every hero in my arsenal, the better. And so me just putting a break chance and health on all of my heroes across the board, I just really like that. I do that with all of them, but you don't have to do that. There's obviously a lot more flexibility that you have, whether that be adding health, adding evasion, adding more attack or whatever. Tons of different options of the different spirits that you can use. Look through them, ask other people's opinions, look on ST Central, and kind of decide for yourself what types of spirits that you want to put on. But this is just my personal preference to make my heroes more beefy and cost effective, but that's completely up to you. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today in terms of equipping heroes. I hope it helps. I hope it helps you kind of see all of your different options and what preferences are going to be. If you want more in-depth stuff on heroes, ask around, check out ST Central. They do have a hero builder there that you can basically put in your hero skills, desired outcome, what you want it to do, and basically build your hero from the ground up of exactly what you want. I know that that's not what this is, but hopefully that's a really good resource for you going forward. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.